Welcome to the Rock the Stage Show. Each week, international media expert Rich Bontrager has in-depth and personal conversations with celebrities, top leaders, authors, speakers, and media professionals. Now, from the Rock the Stage studios, here's your host, the Trigger, Rich Bontrager.
Welcome to the Rock the Stage Show. Back once again. It's Sunday night, and we have another great conversation lined up. And this is one that really is near and dear to my heart. You know, if you've been following Rock the Stage Show, if you watch this on a regular basis and are part of the community, often Rock the Stage is touching on the different ways to build your own media empire. Tonight, we're going to get really, really deep into that, I believe. You know, stop for a moment, but really think about this. Imagine creating a platform where speakers, coaches, entrepreneurs don't just find their voice, they amplify their voice. A place where they can build something that will help them shine on mic, shine on camera, and really energize people. In this episode tonight, we're going to unpack that journey, how it really happened, with another expert that's also working in the same field. Stay tuned for a fun, exciting conversation. And as always, we'd love to hear you in the comments during our live chat that we have on Sunday nights when we launch the show, or in post conversations as well. So make sure you follow along with Rock the Stage Show. Lea Woodford is a visionary behind the Speaker Life Media, the ultimate platform for speakers, coaches, and entrepreneurs to amplify their impact, grow their brands through the Speaker Life magazine, which is a vibrant YouTube channel and a compelling podcast. She has exclusive events and other material there. She creates opportunities for leaders to connect and thrive. And with her background in TV as a host and celebrity interviewer, Lea brings unmatched media expertise and storytelling to the platform that drives success, inspires action. And without any further ado, we're going to bring Lea on in here and get this show underway. So Lea Woodford, come on in to Rock the Stage Show.
Oh, thanks, Rich. Nice to be here.
Thanks for taking the time to be here, because with media people, we've always got something next on the plate, don't you?
Oh, the plates are spinning.
Do you like that? Being a part of that, there's always another story. There's always something new to go do.
Yeah, well, I'm a military brat. So, we moved every 2.5 years. I was always the new kid. So my plates were always spinning and the balls were always in the air. And I think I thrive on that kind of chaos.
There's something fun about, can I keep it going? Can I keep it going?
Yeah. And most of the time I can.
Now, I talk about building your media empire, but you're really also a little bit more niche down than I am. You talk about building a truly luxury media brand for you. Is it price? Is it reputation? What really makes luxury come out of all that?
Well, a couple of things. First of all, I do own Speaker Life Media, but I also I'm co-owner of Legacy Jets. I own a jet charter company with my husband. And I did not want to straddle two target demographics anymore. And my husband kept saying, honey, jump in, the water's warm. And so I immediately moved over into the luxury market, again, with the celebrity speakers and thought leaders. And I really wanted to be able to help people, but I realized in order to take them to the next level, I needed to be at the next level.
So you had to move yourself before you could move anybody else.
I did, because here's the issue. People pay you based on the value you bring. And while I brought value, people couldn't see the value. So I had to really amplify it. And how do you do that? You get in the same room with the people that are doing it.
Now, I was just working with somebody, in fact, and we were talking about this very thing, because they want to be in the higher executive space. They want to be there. They have good leadership skills, but they haven't made the shift in the brand identity, the phrases. And it was as simple as, do you have a good jacket you could put on? And he said, why? I just want to be me. I said, the jacket with the people you want to reach makes a difference. Is it that simple sometimes? There are things we can do to make the change?
It's funny. I just had that conversation with a woman who's going to be on my stage. Our 8th annual summit is next week. And she just said, I just want to be me. And I said, okay, I want you to be you, but I want you to be the very best version of you. Not the one that's in her bathrobe, and sweatpants. I want you to bring your A game, and I want you to look like you're bringing your A game.
So in today's new media world, the big word is being authentic. I get that. We want to be authentic. We want to take people behind the scenes with us and be more real until the Hollywood plastic is gone now. But then there's that line of professionalism, of showing you're the rock star you are. How do you help people find that balance between the two worlds?
I really think storytelling helps with that a lot. And I'm going to give you an example. I became a professional speaker in 2007. Back then, you actually had to qualify to be a professional speaker with National Speakers Association. Now they let everybody in, but back then you actually had to qualify.
They even let me in.
See how smart they are? And I mean that sincerely. But back then, anybody could do it. I hired a speaker coach. Within 6 weeks, she had me doing my first workshop. Of course, I held it at a TV station, and my program was called Start the Press. I charged $2,500. I sold it out. Not only did I qualify financially, you're supposed to make $25,000 within a year to qualify. I made $32,000 that day. And I qualified for NSA professional speaking designation, but I also paid for my daughter's college tuition. So what that taught me was there are ways to shortcut your way to the top of the line, but you have to bring value. And I think a lot of people want to cut to the front of the line. They want to teach what they want to teach, and they haven't really bothered to figure out if there's a target demographic for it, or if it brings the kind of value that people are going to pay top dollar for.
So I'm going to pick on myself, but that's a really good comment because I've always talked about media and media coaching and showing up on camera. The last 6 months, I've really been saying there's more, there's deeper, there's something sharper. And I finally came up with virtual leadership consultant. The idea, I'm teaching you how to be a leader on camera with the media skills I have, and I'm blending it all together. And our mutual friend, Robert Stack, says, "You got it right, kid." What is it about finding that distinction, that thing that crystallizes it? Why is it so hard for us to see it, to find it, to get it?
Well, I think first of all, we have really short interest spans. And I don't think we stay focused. I think a lot of people quit on the 5-yard line. I think that's one reason. And I think another thing is we get frustrated. We see somebody, we compare ourselves to somebody in their final chapter, and we're comparing them to our humble beginnings. And I don't think that we give ourselves enough grace.
I've heard that so many times. I want to be like, and they'll name a celebrity, an actor, performer, interviewer. And then they go, but I could never do that. And it's like the same thing. Give yourself some grace, some time. They did not become what they are overnight. And I think that's a myth that maybe we can help bust here a little bit. There is time, grooming, practice, bad tape, good tape, right?
There is. I've started 4 businesses and I've sold 2. And I can tell you, the one who stays in it to win it is going to be the one that goes through the finish line. But you've got to be in it for the long game. A lot of people want to play the shortcut game. They want to sprint. There are no sprints. There are no shortcuts. You got to do the hard stuff first. And people don't want to do that. They want their cushy life. They want the lifestyle, but they're not willing to put in the reps.
They want the luxury lifestyle that you're helping people do through the media, but they don't want to do the legwork to get that luxury lifestyle. So, but it's also not being exclusive. There's a lot of people think luxury means the walls go up, we pull back further from the world, but it is about experiences and creating experiences to pull people in, right?
It is, and it means a lot of things to a lot of different people. It may not be private jets for some people. It may not be $10 million. Most people are not motivated by money. I'm one of those people. I'm motivated by a lifestyle. The one thing, the biggest currency that we have that most people squander is our time. Time with our loved ones, time with our family, time to travel, time to do the things that we want to do. It blows my mind at how many people waste time with excuses, with not trying, with giving up immediately. If they would just, it's all mindset. All you have to do is just flip the switch and decide to do it.
One of the tips that I personally did was I calendar my life more and more. When I found that I could use my phone and other apps to put timers, whether I'm doing a show, prepping for a show, or just be still and shut up.
That's it.
Having that protection is so important, isn't it?
I think it really is. And I think you have to have a really big why. I think a lot of people don't have a why that's big enough to get them through the hard times. Your why has got to be bigger than your excuse. Simon Sinek said that, and I absolutely 100% believe it. But once you get to your next level, then sometimes your why is going to change. If your kids were little, 10 years ago, yeah, that's an important why. But now they're older and they're more independent. What's your why? Your why has to change as you evolve.
So, Leo, what's your why?
My why is, it's a couple of different things. It's for my children and my grandchildren, but also I really love dogs. And if I could just rescue every puppy on earth and wild Mustang, I would, because I think they're magical and I think they have every right to be here as much as we do. And I just hate the thought of, dogs being put down or not being taken care of. It just hurts my heart.
I've got a rescue Chihuahua, and Bandit is the coolest, playful, loving, and I totally agree with you. There's so many lives that can be impacted. Just take the time, make the adoption. Um, we test drove for over a week, and 3 days into it, I was trying to be cool and say I can't make a decision, and I was like, I'm already hooked. This
I
is over with.
Abby, one of my miniature schnauzers is laying on the couch over there. She's my assistant. She sleeps on the job a lot.
That's what
Yeah,
Bandit is.
uh,
Bandit's usually in the studio, right over here with me, and looking at me and going, "You're doing good. Keep going." Doing good."
well, it's the purest form of love. There's no judgment. They're not looking at you weird if you're eating something you're not supposed to. I mean, they are just kind, loving, and always happy to see you.
Now, going back to what you were saying about the time management, things like that, and the time invested in creating a career.
Mhm.
How much of this is value driven, do you think? That your values help you stay in the game longer? Your values help you not have squirrels chasing you everywhere today? How much do the values ground you to hit the mark?
Well, I'm blessed because I come from the media world and I was a columnist as well as a TV correspondent. So I'm accustomed to deadlines and I've always wrote my own segments. So I also got into sales in my 20s. So I'm used to having to do the hard stuff first.
Did you find that fun?
No, until I learn to love what I'm doing and see the beauty in everything we do. One of the things that I love about magazines, like, let me just show you Speaker Life.
Yes, yes.
Robert Kiyosaki changed my life with that book.
Robert's a great guy.
He is a great guy. And funny story, true story. Um, I asked him, hey, we would love to put you on the cover of our in flight magazine. He said yes.
Mhm.
So he comes down to the airport, the Scottsdale airport. We're on the Scotts. He goes, "You guys have planes? Yeah. Can I charter one? Yeah." So not only did he become a friend, but he became one of our charter clients, and he has introduced us to a lot of people. But he's come into my studio. He's been on my YouTube channel. Funny thing, all things lead to Robert. I'm working in this. I was renting this beautiful $22 million studio. I bring Robert in. Next thing I know, I'm invited to be a TV host for them 5 days a month, and they're paying me six figures and letting me play, letting me help them with their event, their
Yes.
annual event. It's a huge financial planning firm. And I know nothing about financial planning, but I have the right connections. I know media. And Robert is the one that actually, just bringing him in there, created that opportunity for me.
Well, that's some of the fun of the media, the interviews, is doors do magically open. The right people,
They
right
do.
time, right conversation. I've had it happen, and it's kind of surreal, isn't it? To all of a sudden go, I'm really here. Thank you.
Well, and what I love about what I do is because I create magazines for other people too. Like, this is one of my clients, Dave Sanderson. He was the last guy off Sully's plane.
Oh,
This is Amy Porterfield. I love it because this not only works for me, but it's working for my clients too. He just had lunch with Chris Voss. I mean, he's had so many. Now he's in talks with Mel Robbins. That's how it works.
so let's talk about the power of print here,
Mhm.
print media specifically, because social media, video is really rapidly growing. But there's people saying that some print media has faded off. It's not as popular. You just told how many different magazines do you have going right now? How many different print magazines do you have out there?
For me personally, I do our Speaker Life, and then I do our in-flight magazine Legacy for our company, Legacy Quarterly. And yes, that is Guy Fieri.
Yes, it is.
Um, I had to go through Food Network and Warner Brothers to get approval, and they said yes within 3 days. That is because if you have a really amazing brand, and it's not about you, it's about them.
Yes.
I see a lot of people that try to do magazines, but they put themselves on the cover.
Yes.
That is so not the thing to do. You can be on the inside, a note from the publisher. This is prime real estate. Why not have somebody with massive following on the cover? I just have never understood that.
Well, and that's one of the swing and the misses because again, when I work with people trying to create streaming TV shows and stuff, I tell them you're really not the star of the show.
Mm-mm.
Your guests are the stars. You amplify them. You have fun with them. You elevate them. You become known by the repetition of being the host of the show, but they are the focus of the show. And so many miss that point. They turn the
They
show about
Every day,
them and they
all day
forget
long,
you.
they miss that. I'm sorry I talked over you, Rich.
No, no, no,
But
no.
every day, all day long, they make it about them instead of really leveraging the opportunity and the press credentials to interview and leverage. I mean, Guy is in my phone now. Everybody that I've ever interviewed make it to my phone because it's about them. I was blessed enough to be the last media person to interview Suzanne Summers. I was crushed when she died. I was
Yeah.
crushed. She was so thrilled. And let me see if I don't have that magazine in here. But I was in our Colorado house and my husband calls, "What did you order from Suzanne Summers?" And I said, "Nothing." He goes, "I have three giant boxes from Suzanne Summers." And I'm curious. I said, "Well, what's in them? Open them." And she sent me all of her organic skincare line. I have enough products for 3 years, but her company still advertises with us, even though she's passed. And that's the way it should be. You should leave a lasting impression. Your product or service should make those people feel so special that they can't wait to work with you again.
So the relationship side of the media, people think about the media, the glam, the glitz, but the relationship side is what you're talking about. We don't want to gloss over that. There's a relationship that makes it much bigger than the photo shoots and the videos, right?
I absolutely, absolutely. If you focus on just the glitz and glamour, you've got one interview. I probably did 5 or 6 and had 10 dinners with Robert Kiyosaki, for instance. You know, I'm gonna don't go deep in your relationships, not wide. That's the problem most people make.
So go back early in your career. You have done interviews and celebrities and like that. Have you ever had that time where you did get the Star Trek? You had that moment of like, I'm sitting with so and so, and your tongue gets tied, and you kind of swells up, and you're feeling that I'm
Yes.
with so and so. Who was it?
Believe it or not, it was Lisa Guerrero from Inside Edition.
Really?
And yeah, I can interview rock stars and everything else, but I had such admiration for her because I mean, this girl was hit by, she was hard hitting news. I knew I could never do that, but I love the way she went after the bad guys and really put herself in harm's way a lot of the time. And I was tongue tied. It probably took 3 takes to get that out just because it's just like, oh my God. And she spoke on my stage after that. She really, nobody else has really tongue tied me like she did, but it was because she really went after people that were hurting other people, and I just admired her so much.
So, what can you say for people that listen to us that are trying to figure out this luxury brand or elevate their brand, but also blend the media world in? Because that's going to happen. They're going to walk in the room, sit down with somebody, whether it's a Zoom or live in person. They're going to meet someone and they're going to go, wow, how do you handle that with class without becoming a fancy, do you think?
You know, make it about them. It is not about you. It's about two people. It's about that guest you've managed to wrangle and get in there, but it's also about the viewing audience. It has nothing to do with you. And if you take yourself out of the equation
Mhm.
and make sure that you make them look good, you're going to have a great show.
So, my mantra is I'm going to help you shine on camera, shine on stage, elevate you and your brand. Everywhere I go, I'm just talking about I'm going to help you elevate. And I actually have fun doing that. I think it's great when I see them take their energy up a notch, when they have the smile come more alive. Do you find that to be true too? When you know you have them playing the right way, it's just the funnest thing in the world, right?
Well, that's why I love this studio that I have. That I'm obviously there, not there right now, but if you look at my YouTube channel, it's a $22 million studio. You walk in, Robert Kiyosaki, first thing he says out of his mouth is, "Wow, impressive studio."
And Robert could
And he
know.
said that on camera. And I just went, "Yeah, that's how we roll, Robert. This is all about you."
Is that part of the vision planning of building that luxury brand?
And it's so funny when we started our jet charter company, it was so crazy. There was this one gentleman that I just really loved, him and his wife. And, we started skiing with them, we started talking to them. And then, I realized, okay, we just bought our first jet. It's the same jet, the first jet he bought. We bought our second jet. It's the second jet that he got because when you immerse yourself with
Yes.
people who've gone where you want to go, it's not so scary
Yeah.
because you are learning and you're being a part of it and you're just kind of pulled up. But there are always going to be people that want to pull you down, and sometimes it's family. And you got
Oh, you want to go there, do you? No, I totally agree with you because some of the best people are cheering you on. They're rolling out the red carpet, they're opening doors, making introductions. And some of the biggest naysayers of stepping in that new dream, that new thing is often family. I had that. I mean, I live with a lifelong stutter. We often talk about it. And my parents said, really? My friend said, babbling rich? You want to be doing sports play by play? What did I do for 25 years? What have I done for 35 years now? It's amazing how the closest people to us often are the limiters, and the new people we meet are the one pouring gasoline on it. Why do you think that is?
I think they mean well most of the time. I think most of them do, but it's uncomfortable for them for you to be up here because then they are afraid to come up here and it's easier to pull them down. I mean, perfect example. My husband and his ex-partner, they decided to part ways. We're in a lawsuit, and
Mm.
it was guns blazing. We had 4 lawyers. We won, but it was scary. It was really scary. And his parents kept saying, just go work for the airline. When you work for the airline, it's a seniority based job. You start
Yes.
at the bottom. And I said, no, we have a lifestyle to maintain. You are not doing that. We're in it to win it, and we're going to fight, and we're going to win. And we did. And we started again, no partners, just me and him. And we did it together.
So talk about starting up. Let's talk about Speaker Life Media. From the ground up, what was a defining moment? Because again, you've done celebrity TV interviews, you've done another thing, but what switched it for you to say, I want to have my own magazine, I want to do my own media stuff? What got you to that independent place?
Well, I was a speaker in 2007 and got picked up for a tour, a multi-city tour in 2008 with some of the biggest speakers. I mean, really big names you would know. But I saw, it was a really scary time. This was December 13th in Salt Lake. It was a gloomy day. There was only one woman in the room. It was all men, but they were predatorial speakers, and they were preying on people's fear and vulnerabilities. And I just said, boy, I can't be a part of this. They're selling their $30,000 package. Yeah. And I've got my little $697 Start the Press, 2 DVDs and a downloadable workbook, and they've got their, it was so funny. I was so proud of myself. It was $697, and I sold probably more than anybody there. Right. But I went to the back of the room, and the one woman that was there pulled me aside and asked if she could talk to me a second. And I said, yeah. She says, I'm 3 months behind in my mortgage. Single mom with 2 kids. If I buy her $30,000 package, maybe it'll save me. And I just pulled her aside, and I gave her a hug, and I said, here's my product. Here's my contact information. Go get a second job, get a roommate. Do not buy that package. Keep that roof over your kid's head and get caught up on your mortgage. She kept up with me, and she managed to pull herself out of that hole. But I left the speaking industry after that, right after that day, up until 2012. And then I realized if I want to go somewhere, I'm going to have to speak. And I said, but I want to do it different. And it took me a couple of years. In 2019, my Amazon show was cut because Amazon was getting all the free TV shows from all the major studios. So they cut the independents. But I had hired a coach to help me do a magazine. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to do this magazine. And I went to my sponsor, Jeep, and he says, when your magazines look as good as your videos do, we'll talk.
Whoa. Yeah. So that was the challenge.
That was the challenge. And I realized, okay, I'm going to have to learn this. She had taught me how to create a Canva magazine. Canva is great for social media. It is not good for real print magazines. Right. And I'm lucky to this day that Jack Canfield still talks to me, because it was not a good magazine. But it took me 5 months to reverse engineer it, because I knew I couldn't hire somebody if I didn't know it myself. So I taught myself in design, and then I finally got my team, and we've been doing it that way ever since. But I get clients for Legacy because our magazines are so beautiful.
Oh, they're gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Now, being that you were a professional interviewer before, and you switched over to the print side, how much of the interviewing skills that you learned from the TV, the media stuff, help you go into the print side? Did it help you already to have that under your belt?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But here's the thing. It was easier to get the guest, telling them that I was going to put them on the cover of our in-flight magazine. It's both digital and print. They said yes to that. And then, I decided, okay, I need to have a YouTube channel and a podcast. And I thought, how can I do this? And so now I interview everyone, transcribe it, and put it into article form. So it's on Instagram, it's on TikTok, it's on YouTube, and it's also in the magazine, both digital and print.
That's the thing people miss is the repurpose of one content into many content. What you just said, I think, is so often overshadowed by coaches, by people trying to understand it. They think they have to keep generating. In fact, you have more stuff out of one content piece, don't you?
I do. I probably have 30 pieces from that one interview.
What needs to be done to help people learn that? And instead of chasing, slow down and build good content with what you have first.
It's like relationships, Rich. What happens when you chase things? They run away,
You
right?
burn out, you do stupid things.
They run away. So really what you need to do is just have a game plan or hire me to do your magazine. We'll create the YouTube, the podcast, and everything all out of it. But seriously, if you could do one thing and get all this content out of it and then leverage it to talk to somebody, I don't know, that you really want to talk to and somebody that has a following, can you imagine? And then the advertising dollars come, the sponsorship dollars come. I mean, there are so many ways that you can monetize media, and that's why I love it.
So when you get to the advertising, again, I've been around for a little bit, and I know magazine publishers like you and others. The advertising revenue often is the secret sauce to everything you do because the ads pay for everything. Now you get to go above and beyond.
Yeah,
How did you learn that?
magazines are free. Lexus has been my sponsor for 16 years. I know. So it's about going deep, not wide. But the most important thing is you have to provide value. If you don't provide value, you can't charge those kind of dollars.
What are the metrics that you did watch? What were those things that say, yes, we're tracking the right way, we're heading in the right direction? Because so often it's like I'm juggling balls and I don't know what's really happening. What were those metrics things that you said, got it, got it?
I think people overwhelm themselves. Do 3 things every day that are going to move the needle. 3 things. You don't have to do 10 things. You don't have to be everyone to everybody, but you have to focus on 3 things. And the other thing is do one thing, master it before you add something else.
Now you're like me. You want other people to be the center of the story. You already said it. You showed the covers. You want them to be the center.
I do.
How do you maintain that energy to give it away and give it away to make sure they are the center? Because some people, that's a drain. They don't know how to give it away and give it away. Is there a trick, a heartbeat that helps you do that? What makes you make sure they're going to shine the brightest?
Because I have a vested I'm vested in their success. If but the other thing is there has to be synergy between us. I can't want success more than you do.
Oh,
If your heart's not in it, then I'm not gonna be able to throw my heart over the bar for you if you're not in it to win it.
so how do you check that? How do you make sure they're on board and you're not wasting your time?
I'm actually have a friend of mine for 30 years, and she's in a really tough place right now, and I'm having that conversation with her. I want this more for you than you do.
Right.
So, you know what? This is an amazing opportunity. Let me give that opportunity to somebody else. And I take it away. It's like in sales. If they're not willing to step up,
Right.
Rich, and I don't mean that hard. I don't
No,
mean that
no.
hard. But this person with the amazing opportunity, I owe it to him to get somebody. 5 years ago, she would have been perfect, but right now her headspace is not there. I wish her well, and I hope she finds what she's looking for. But in the meantime, I've got another great person who's a perfect fit, and switch them over.
So when
And
you're building that luxury dream, you're going after that media brand. Right now, the big thing is social media, pump, 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 pump. But you've got the print side going on, and there's traditional media as well.
mhm.
How do you juggle this? Where do you go today? What do you see the landscape doing to help us to really build that luxury brand?
The luxury brand, people think it has to be expensive. Um, it has to look expensive, but it has to be an experience.
Yep.
You know, what makes you special? Why are you different? I hear Prince dead. I laugh at that every time I hear it. Go look at the grocery store checkout line. What's there? Magazines. Guess what? That checkout line is the most expensive shelf in the store.
Impulse buys.
In impulse buys. Taylor Swift has her own magazine. So you can't be worried about what other people think or what they say. You have to focus on you. I think anybody can make anything work if they believe in it enough. People are not buying your product or service. They are borrowing your belief in you and your product and service.
So that takes me to the brand of you. People are buying you. No, like,
Absolutely.
and trust now is a new currency. And if you don't know how to present that to showcase yourself, they're not buying, are they?
No, they want confidence. They want to know that you are who you say you are and you can deliver the results you say you can. But here's what's on them. You can do all that, but if they're not doing their part, like I can create the most beautiful magazine in the world
Yes.
and I can show you how to leverage it. But if you don't do your part, then you're just going to have a whole bunch of pretty magazines sitting in your garage.
And
You
the
have
same
to do your part.
and the same thing applies to every video you do, every podcast you do. If you don't share it, amplify it after you're done, shame on you because you were given a gift. Someone else highlighted you. You should be pushing it out and sharing that yourself. And I
Absolutely.
know so many people don't do that.
They don't. And here's the other thing that I really, really, really love about what we do, Rich, is we have press credentials. We can go to conferences for free. Hey, I want to cover, this conference. Sure. Send me your press credentials. I do. There's so many things that we can do and we can leverage.
Is there a price level that people think about with luxury? Do you get that very often of luxury equals this amount of money, this amount of prestige, this amount of books written? Is there a money size that goes with luxury, or is it more of an attitude and how
I
you
think
carry yourself?
it's kind of an attitude, but here's what I do. I don't coach people through the money. I coach them through lifestyle and work backwards. What's the lifestyle do you want to have? Do you
Yeah.
want to have a jet? Do you want to have a second home? What do you want? Then we can build, then we can build it working our way backwards. The problem is most people want to speak. That's great, but that's only one income stream. What happens if you get sick? What happens? God forbid we have another COVID,
Yes.
or somebody cancels an event. Do
Mhm.
not put your eggs in one basket. You got to have at least 5 income streams.
I love it. Leah, we're going to bring up your website right here and tell us more about what they're going to find at the Speaker Life magazine website.
Okay, you go to speakerlifemagazine.com. And what's great about that, excuse me, is it's everything you wanted to know about speaking, coaching, and being an entrepreneur. Because if you were a speaker, guess what? You're an entrepreneur by default. And it talks about everything from branding, how to land gigs. Our current one has Colin Egglesfield. Yes, he is a Hollywood actor, but a lot of people don't know he's an amazing speaker. Who else do we have? Matt Lights, who is talking about Facebook ads. I don't recommend that you do Facebook advertising unless you hire a professional, because if you don't know what you're doing, it can hurt you. So what I do is I bring the best people into this magazine so that not only do you have the resources, but you can contact them.
We love it. Well, make sure you scan that QR code. Go check it out. Now, Leah, we're at the best part of the show. There's been lots of fun, great information, but now we're gonna have a little bit of fun and learn
Only
a little
a
bit
little
more.
bit. I want to do a lot of fun.
Oh no, no, we're gonna learn a little bit more about you.
Okay.
So, what's a surprising fun fact about you that most people in the speaking media world would be shocked to learn?
I think what I hear the most from people is, I thought you'd be taller. You got this big bravado, big personality. I'm 5 feet tall.
5 feet tall.
5'5" with my big girl shoes on.
There you and the 80s hair, does it help at all if you do the 80s hair?
Yeah, it does.
Who is the most personal interview that you've had with that you wanted so badly?
Couple of different places in my life. I mean, I was a massive Kiss fan in 8th grade, and I finally got to interview them. So that I've interviewed Mel Robbins. I did get to interview Ed Milet, and I absolutely love Ed Milet. So
Why do you love that so much?
because you know what, I listen to positive things every morning. I don't watch the news. I don't look at my phone first thing. I know that mindset is everything, and you have to have a good morning routine. So I listen to Joe Dispenza, Ed Milet, and Mel Robbins in the morning.
That's not a bad menu.
Nope, it's a good menu.
If you could have a special edition, 3 all-star rock star interviews, the best of the best that you would want to have featured, who would those 3 ultimate special edition people be?
Okay, for Speaker Life, it would be Joe Dispenza. For Legacy Quarterly, I'm dying to get Reese Witherspoon. I love her. We're both Southern girls, and I'm about 2 degrees of separation away from her. So working on that. I'm also a huge fan of Sarah Blakely's.
Not familiar with that name. Who is that?
She created Spanx.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. Lea Woodford, thanks for being on Rock the Stage today. What would be your final advice for that luxury media brand? The person is like, I want to. What's your number 1 tip to say, go, step into it?
Decide. Nothing's going to happen until you make that decision and fire the gun and just do it.
That's simple.
Well, here's how I see it, Rich. It's like driving down the road at night. You know, you got your lights on. You can't see the entire road, but the farther down the road you get, if you have to turn off, you'll see you have to turn off. But nothing happens till you take action.
Lea Woodford, thanks for being on Rock the Stage. Great way to land the show tonight. Thank you.
My pleasure.
So come on back to next week. We were going to do this again. You always have amazing guests appear here on Rock the Stage Show. Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube. We launched our watch party, live chat. You can interact, have a little bit of fun. And then, of course, we move all these shows over to Roku, Amazon Fire, IPTV, and the Bravehearts TV network. So until next time on The Trigger, Rich Bontrager, we do want you to build that media brand. It is so much fun to see people shine, step out, and be the best version of themselves. We were talking about here tonight. Hopefully it's been a little helpful here tonight. Always love to hear from you as well. Until next week, I'm The Trigger, Rich Bontrager. Come on back for another edition of Rock the Stage Show.